Good morning, this is Kumaran. Today we will discuss about 8086 microprocessor in minimum mode configuration, which means as you know that microprocessor can be operated in minimum mode as well as maximum mode. Minimum mode means a single processor mode, only 86 CPU alone will be in the system. Maximum, the other way, maximum mode means we will have 86 microprocessor. In addition to that, we have 8087 co-processor, 8089 IO processor, like additional processor will be connected in the system. So as simple as minimum mode means single processor, uh, maximum mode means multi-processor. So in this topic we will discuss about a minimum mode configuration. What are the signals available, how to use 86 in minimum mode. That's what we will discuss in today's video. Look at this diagram. This is example of microprocessor system. We have processor in laptop, we have processor in networking, we have processor in sensor nodes everywhere. In almost in most of the electronic gadgets nowadays having that microprocessor or application. So that's why we are learning the subject. Let's move on to the topics of minimum mode configuration. So minimum mode means in a motherboard we will have only one microprocessor. That is 8086 microprocessor. Apart from that, so many peripherals will be in the system. That's what the basic of minimum mode. Let's go and discuss in detail about what are the signals, how to operate the device in minimum mode. So whenever we want to use microprocessor in any application, we need to have some minimum basic peripherals. Supporting ICs are needed because the processor alone we cannot design any system. It's not possible at all. So that's why whenever we use a microprocessor, we need to some basic peripherals in the system. So here, as the name suggests, minimum mode, only one microprocessor. So there is no additional microprocessor or independent processor will be in the system. Only 86 will execute all the instruction in the system. That's the assumption of this topic, minimum mode. So let's discuss one by one in this block diagram. As you know that 86 microprocessor is a 16-bit microprocessor. It has that 20 address lines, 16 data lines. But the address and data lines are multiplexed here. Look at AD0 to AD15. The same pin will act as address A0 as well as D0. The same way up to 15 also, A15, D15. Both are in a single pin of microprocessor. But when we want to connect in a system, we need both address and data buses separately. Then only we can interface a memory or IO device. Effectively, we can identify the address and read write the corresponding memory or IO device. So we need that address and data bus separately. That process is called demultiplexing. So it is multiplexed with the help of this same pin AD0 to AD15. But we need to separate this A0 to A15, D0 to D15. So for that, we need to have a mechanism which is called demultiplexing. For that, we are using the concept of latch. Latch is a binary storage device. A single bit of binary information will be stored for it temporarily. That's the function of latch. Here, the 8282, it's a 8-bit latch. 8-bit latch means it contains that internally 8 individual latch. So 8 data lines you can connect at a time. 8 output lines will be available. One enable signal, which is a strobe input. So whenever the enable signal is high, it will allow the signal from input to the output. That's the function of this latch. If enable signal is removed, it will maintain the previous output. That's what the function of a latch. Whenever enable is high, it will allow the input to output. If enable is 0, it will maintain the last output until the next enable signal. That's the function of a latch. So here how we are giving AD0 to AD15 as an input to the latch. We are giving address latch enable as the enable signal here. Whenever ALE is 1, processor will place address value on this multiplexed bus. If the enable is 1, the latch will allow the address to the output of the latch. So after the next T state, microprocessor will remove the address latch enable. So there is no enable signal here. It will maintain the address on the address line continuously until the next ALE. Next ALE will available only on the next mission cycle. So that's where the demultiplexing process is happening here. So here in microprocessor we have 20 address lines. So one device you can connect to maximum 8. So at least we need 3 devices. 3 into 8, 24. But we have 20 only. First 2 device we will connect 8 plus 8, 16. Even though remaining 2 lines we need one more IC. The remaining lines we may not use in that. But we need minimum of 20 IC to demultiplex A0 to A19 address lines. That's the function of 8 to 8 to why 3 devices are there. It's clear here. See here after this demultiplexing, before the demultiplexer, before the latch, the data bus is connected with the transceiver, bus transceiver. Bus transceiver means it's a bidirectional buffer. Buffer means it's a temporary storage device actually. In this case, it will allow from data input to the output, output to the input. So we can consider both are input, both are output, such a way. This is mainly used to allow the data from processor to the external device, from external device to the processor. So based on this, data enabled, data transmit ready. Receive, data transmit. If the signal is 1 means it will allow the signal to pass from microprocessor to the external device. If the DTR pin is 0, it will allow data from external device to the microprocessor through this path. For that, the device enable is simply enable the device. It will switch on the device, simply on off signal. So if it is 0, then only on. 1 means it will off, because active low signal, the bar signal is given in the pin. Normally high, when the signal is enabled, that time only it will becomes 0. So that's what we need 2 devices of 8 to 86, because data lines we have only 16, D15 to D0, 16 data lines. So each device handle 8 data lines. So we need 2 devices. That's all for this 8286 bus transceiver. The name of the IC is bus transceiver. The next one is a decoder. Why we are going for decoder? When we use microprocessor, it will give a signal, either it is accessing memory or IO with the help of the single pin. The pin is M/IO bar is 1, processor is accessing memory. M/IO bar is 0, then the processor is accessing IO device. The read-write signals same, either it is reading IO device or memory, it will enable. Write also, it will enable whenever the processor is writing memory or IO device. But we need to have separate IO read, IO write, memory read, memory write. So for that purpose, from 3 signal to the 4 signal, we are converting with the help of a decoder. This is 3 into 8 decoder, 2 power 3 input, 2 power 3 output. That's the function of this decoder. So based on this 3 configuration, if all are 0, it will enable the first one. If 0, 0, 0, 1, enable the next one. Likewise, y1, y2, y5, y6. So based on the combination of these functions, so it corresponding signal is enabled. For that only. For example, we need to generate memory write. Memory write means here this pin should be 1. This is 1. Write means this to be 0. So this is 1. So 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 0 is 6. So the 6 will be enabled. So that's what here memory write. So 1, 1, 0 will be enabled. 1, 1, 0 means it will enable this. It will be connected to the write signal of that memory. Likewise, we will use. This is single IC because we need to use only 3 signals. From that we need to convert 4 signals. That's what. Then we'll come to the 8284 clock generator, which is important IC in this. As you know that 86 is a clock driven device. It will perform based on the input clock frequency. it can operate up to 10 megahertz crystal, 10 megahertz frequency, but the signal should be 33% duty cycle. That's what the requirement for 86. 8284 is a clock generator IC, will be connected a required crystal. It will generate the 33% duty cycle signal and will provide to the 86. Not only 86, it will provide some other system in the device if it is needed. The 8284 not only the generating clock, it will also handle the reset. A reset switch will be connected to the device. Whenever it is reset, it has to generate a necessary signal on the reset to reset the entire system. That's the minimum mode. The first and foremost thing is the device to be operated in minimum or maximum mode based on the pin M1/MX bar. If M1 is 1, which means VCC, the device will operate in minimum mode. If the pin is 0 connected to the ground, then the device will operate as maximum mode. That's what the pin defines. So the mode selection is purely on this pin. Then we have minimum mode signals, hold, acknowledge. These two are used for direct memory access. So whenever IO device wants to access memory, that time we will implement a direct memory access concept. That time this hold and hold acknowledge signal will be used. Then these three are interrupt signals. We have NMI, non-maskable interrupt. We have INTR, interrupt request. These two are the external device will be connected as an interrupt. Then we have a signal called interrupt acknowledge. The processor will acknowledge whenever the device making an interrupt. If that interrupt is accepted by the processor, it will acknowledge through the pin INTA. That's what in this minimum mode configuration. See here the demultiplexing, how it is happening, that we will have. In the demultiplexing, we are connecting address and data multiplexed bus as input. After that, how it is demultiplex. A practical example I have given here. Look at this railway gate. It's automatic gate, for example, we assume. In this track will be used by both. One by trains through this way, and the other way around the road transport vehicles like our car, bus, two-wheelers will be used by this way. But both cannot use at the same time, only one at a time. So this is called demultiplexing. So for example, if the gate is closed, train will use the path. So that time the bus and other vehicles with the road transport vehicles has to wait. When the gate is open, train cannot use that, bus and road transport will use that. Here the gate is same like our address latch enable. If ALE is 1, the address will be using the pin, it is available on the outside. So here the train is act as address. If gate is closed, train will use that. If gate is open, it will use as a data. So that is road transport vehicles like car, two-wheeler, bus, lorry like. So that's the example of demultiplexing signals. So that's all about 8086 microprocessor pin diagram. So here the mission cycle, what are the functions it will do in minimum mode? Minimum mode, the microprocessor will perform opcode fetch, memory read, memory write, IO read, IO write, and interrupt acknowledge. So only these 6 functions will be repeated by a microprocessor continuously. Whatever the application we are using, it may be our multimedia watching or internet browsing or any application, even if you are working with a document. But the processor concern, it will repeatedly do these functions. This function is decided by based on the instruction. One instruction may have multiple mission cycles, not the all, but some mission cycles are contributing one instruction. Then few instructions are contributing a program, which is a particular task. Then few programs are combinedly used to execute an application. Application in the sense like internet or any other applications, a combining of programs. So all the programs are combinedly we are using as a application device, laptop or cell phones like this. So that's the thing. Let's discuss about the timing diagram in detail. So already I told that address latch enable is only for first T state. So this is the T state means a timing diagram internally for every microsecond, every nanosecond what the process is doing. That you can identify easily by looking at the diagram. We have 4 T states. 4 T states are needed for read operation. So whenever memory is read by the microprocessor, it needs 4 T states. So in this 4 T states, first T state, this T state time is defined by based on the clock frequency. T equal to 1 by F. F is the operating frequency of the device generated by the 8284 device. Clock generator will give you this frequency. That inverse we have drawn as a signal here. See, look at here address the address A16 to A19. It will have address. First T states it will have address. Next T state onwards it will act as a status, because address and status are multiplexed in this. But in address and data, here the first T state it will act as a address bus. From the next T state it will act as a data bus. So look at here, whenever ALE is 1 it will act as address, ALE 0 means act as a data. That's what. Then the data transmit ready. In memory read memory cycle it will see here the memory read means it is 0, so it will be 0 continuously entire T state. Then the read signal is enabled only on the T2 and T3. So by this time the read signal is enabled. Data enable is available only on the particular time. Whenever the bus is has data bus, it will be having. Then the ready signal normally given by the external device. If external device is ready, it will give a high signal here. Then the external device will release the data to this. This is the ready signal of the memory actually. So it's a very it's easy to understand. Clock signal, just draw number of T states. Then the higher order address 16 to 19 are multiplexed with status signals, so it is demultiplexed. Address and data signal also demultiplexed here, depends upon the ALE. The memory M bar IO bar, this signal is here in this case always high because it is related to the memory, not for IO, so it is always high. Then the ALE is 1 only for the first T state, and so on. Likewise the memory read we can understand. The memory write is just same as, see here the write signal is enabled. Instead of read is high, write is low. Remaining all are the same. Address and data, address and status, address and data, ALE signal. ALE is 1 for the first T state. Then the M is 1 because it's a memory operation. Data enable, everything is the same as memory read. Only thing is the write signal is enabled instead of read signal. That's what memory write machine cycle. So this is the sample of memory cycle. That's the minimum mode operation of 86 microprocessor. If the question is asked in examination, you have to draw this diagram. This is the most important. Draw this diagram either this one, or if you are easy to draw this also you can draw the diagram, explain about each and every block in the diagram. That's it about minimum mode configuration of 86. Thank you for watching.